Hola mi gente, welcome back. Today we're going to do the last episode in this little mini series, my little Gossip Girl mini series. It's not really that, but you know what I mean. If you've been following along, and if not, I will go ahead and link. I think there's 3 videos in this little mini series that I'm doing. I'm gonna go ahead and end this mini series today, and hopefully you've learned a thing or two from the few episodes that I posted regarding this kind of birds of a feather flock together and how to stay away from negative energy that could potentially bring you down, or to be careful of those people that are constantly talking about other people, or just remember what Susie says of Sally says more of Susie than Sally. That type of vibe, that's what I was talking about on all these episodes that I did in this like mini series. So after this episode, we're going to kind of leave this. I mean, we'll always touch on stuff like this, right? Because I guess it is a big deal. And then we'll kind of go into more of like the intro and just other good topics. Helping yourself, becoming a better version of yourself, becoming the best version of yourself, and none of the bullshit. Not going to sugarcoat things. We're just going to really get raw and real. So if you haven't already subscribed, don't forget to subscribe. I know I say that in every video, but I do appreciate every person that has taken the time out to subscribe and to be notified when I do post new videos. It costs nothing. It's free. But if you do want to support and spend a little bit of money for some extra perks, there are the memberships that you can join. And as always, I will link that down below so you can take a peek and see if that's anything of interest to you, so that you can subscribe to become a member and you will get those extra added benefits. But yeah, let's not waste any more time. So episode 4, and the final episode in this mini series, I'm going to be talking about where are those quote unquote friends when you're struggling, right? When you're struggling, are they there when you're down, when you need someone to be there for you? Do they suddenly disappear? And when you're succeeding or when you're on your way up, are there whispers of congratulations and wanting to be there for you? Is that real? Or sometimes even they'll clap louder for strangers. And, you know, like I always say this to people, you know, if you post content, or even if you don't, like as a content creator, but let's say you are posting, right? And, you know, you always find those 1 or 2 people that are just genuinely good people, don't have any animosity towards people. They'll like every single thing you post just because why? They're a supporter, they're a good person, you know they go past it, so what does it take? 2 seconds to click it? When you mean to tell me you're on social media, but you can't take 1 second to heart something that you see of someone who is quote unquote your friend, I don't want to hear it. Like, that's just bull. So the fact that you can't do it, but okay, takes 2. If that's what you're going to give, that's what you're going to get, right? However, you should really pay attention to that, because when they can go ahead and like other people's posts who are complete strangers to them, who they don't even know in real life, but they can show them any support and not you, that's kind of like a little shady, I guess you could say. And then there's always the ones that, oh, I'm never on there. Yeah, actually you are, but that's okay, because you just watch, observe, and really just take all of that into account. I mean, not everyone breaking bread with you is really for you. You know, some are just there for the access and the being able to find out what's going on in your life and to be able to talk about what's going on in your life or be in the know. So be careful with that. You just want to, and you know, I've said this in the previous videos, make sure the people that are there are truly genuine. And you know, I think I talked about this maybe in the last episode, where your nervous system, when you're around good people and genuine people, your nervous system seems like at rest, where you're like, oh my gosh, when I'm with you, I feel like everything's okay. You know, I don't worry about the stressors in my life, or I don't think about the things stressing me out. I really feel okay and good when I'm with you. Those are your people. Those are the people that you want to make sure you surround yourself with, right? I know I have those people in my life, and I love, love, love them truly. And I know that when I'm with them, I feel at such peace and like, okay, everything's going to be okay. I could be having the worst day or something stressing me out so bad. And the second I'm with them, I feel this intense peace. And then when I leave them again, my nervous system is kind of like, oh shit, you know? But that just goes to show that those are good people. So when your system reacts in the opposite, where you feel anxious, you feel anxiety, you feel like this weird feeling, but you can't like pinpoint why you're feeling it, that's your nervous system, your intuition, God telling you this is not your person. This is not your people. Be careful. Have your guard up. Why do you want to do that? You don't want to put your nervous system through that. So just take that all into account and consideration. Make sure the energy that is at your table, the people who are seated at your table, give you that good energy. They clap because they are genuinely happy for you. They don't clap and cheer or get happy for you out of obligation. They don't clap and cheer for you out of being able to reap the benefits that you worked so hard to get, and now all of a sudden they're like, oh, that's my person, that's this, that's that, when they weren't there throughout your struggling points, right? Like they weren't there the whole time. So just recognize who those people are at your table, make sure their energy matches yours, and obviously you want to always give them that same energy too. Not saying give them that fake energy, if they're just applauding during your successes but not there any other time and not showing you love or anything when things aren't so great or so easy. You don't want to give them, they say, oh, give them back what they gave you. I don't agree with that. I think you should genuinely find your people, because when it's genuine on both ends, that's what builds a beautiful relationship. So definitely, don't do that. I would say, just find the real ones. And sometimes there are only two people at your table, and that is okay, because as you get older, and trust me, I know, as you get older, you're not going to have hundreds of friends or, I don't know. I hope to build a community on here with my viewers. I hope to get to know people through here and through this channel that I have. But in my actual real life now, it's a handful. And as you get older, you don't have time for the bullshit. You don't have time for the fake. So you do start to cut people out, especially when you see that the love, the friendships, the care, it's not genuine. That's the beauty of it. As you get older, you start to see things for what they really are. You have no problem saying, okay, this is not for me. I've outgrown it, and you've moved on. Not in a terrible way, not in a hateful or hurtful way, but in a peaceful, like, oh, wow, you were an important part of my life through XYZ. And, we both kind of moved on in different directions kind of thing, But also don't lose the ones that truly are great people. It does take both sides to reach out, to be there, to take initiative at planning the dates and trying to get together. One, you or the other person shouldn't be the one putting in all the effort. Both of you have to come together. And I know as we get older too, life gets busy. It gets crazy. It's so hard to make plans and coordinate, especially if you have kids or, a marriage or whatever it is, work. It's so hard to be able to really just say, okay, let's get together next week. Sometimes it works that way, but a lot of the times it doesn't. So you both have to put in the work at both reaching out and making that time for when it does work, but that's the beauty with friendships. It doesn't have to be all the time. Like when you're younger, you can, months can go by. I would hope not years, but if years had to go by, maybe you don't live in the same state or something like that, you still always pick up right where you left off, and it feels as if no time has passed. And that does happen more often than not. So some people they'll eat at your table, but they'll never feed you back. They'll clap louder for others, but never clap for you. And, you just have to, I think the real main point of this mini series has been protect your peace at all costs, right? Protect your peace, protect your energy. Remember that invisible shield that I talked about in one of the episodes. You want to protect your peace, and you want to make sure that you are inviting the right people around you, that you are just doing what is really best for you, because all of the decisions we make today will affect us tomorrow and in the future. And I think if you would ask me what are some things from my 20s and 30s, I mean, there's that, you know, I wish I could have told myself now looking back. I mean, there's a bunch of things, but one of them would be to really protect my peace and take into account and not care so much what people think and just do what I had to do in order to be proud of the person that I'll be in the next 5 years, right? You always want to be better. And yeah, not just trying to be a people pleaser, really living for you and being a good person, you know. Just love above all. Love is giving love, receiving love, being from love, thinking from a place of love, right? We all want to feel that. That's one thing that's universal. And why would you not want to share that with the people closest to you, the people you care about, friends, family, boyfriends, girlfriends, fiancés, husbands, wives, whatever it is? Just, I think ultimately at the end of the day, that's what it comes down to, and being genuine and being real. And that's it. But if you've dealt with this, you know, where having the wrong people at your table, and I'm sure we all have, I'm sure we've all been there, done that, and you know what, we may have not been everyone's cup of tea at their table, and maybe they had to remove us from their table, and nobody's perfect, but let me know your stories. I would love to hear it down below. I will link the other episodes throughout this video. I've linked, talking in the future now, I've linked the other 3 episodes that pertain to this topic, just so you can touch on it if you're trying to better yourself, or if you're trying to just remove certain people and energy from your life, or you're unsure. Go back and watch these videos, learn how to protect your peace and deal with those types of negative people and protect yourself. But I think that is it for this video. Don't forget to subscribe, leave some love, and until next time, I'll see you in my next try-on. Thank you, mi gente. Take care.